All right, I am here with Christy Rhodes, and Christy Rhodes is familiar to our ACE attendees. Last year, Christy, we were online, so we saw you online, and then, oh my goodness, 2019, you attended
Wow.
ACE in Coquitlam, which was wonderful, and we're looking forward to to bring that back again this year with our face-to-face conference happening on May 19th and 20th in Coquitlam. And I was just joking with you, via email, if you can bring some of that warm weather with you, that would be great.
I am planning on it because apparently, having been on the West Coast in Seattle 2 weeks ago,
Right.
My body does not like cold weather anymore.
Yeah.
So I promise you, I will bring some warmth with me.
That's wonderful. No, if you could do that, that'd be wonderful. So just a couple things today. So the first thing, really easy, tell attendees a little bit about yourself. I know you are assistant professor at East Carolina University and worked in adult education for more than 25 years. And I know you've taught, ESL, TESOL overseas, very experienced in that area, but maybe any updates or
you passed the quiz almost, Jonathan.
Oh,
so
almost.
Okay. I think in between when I was up there in 2019 and now, I passed one of those wonderful landmarks or milestones.
Yep.
And I am no longer an assistant professor, I'm an associate professor.
Associate professor.
Wow. Yeah, which only means nothing to the real world. It just means that I have tenure. So It's a lot harder for my university to get rid of me. So
that's an important step.
It is. I act up a little bit more than I used to.
Okay, I need to update our notes then too.
That's okay. It's one of those details that means a lot to some people, and the majority of people really could not care less. Yeah.
No, well, congratulations.
But you did. You nailed it. I have a language teaching background.
Yeah.
Always with adults, and that's why I really enjoy coming up to Coquitlam for the Adult Centered Conference.
Awesome. No, that's great. Just a second question. I know I asked this last year, how has the pandemic changed your practice? And I know, we don't want to look 2 years of pandemic time, but, just in the last year, I know most educational institutions have gone back to some form of face-to-face or sort of hybrid type learning. How has that looked for you, Christy?
Sure.
Area.
In terms of my teaching, so my teaching is I teach in a master's program of that's completely online. It's completely virtual. So that part, that very kind of actually a small part of what I do stayed the same.
Okay.
So most of my students now are incredibly familiar with the posters in my room, since that's what I do, and also my kitchen. I set up an office in my kitchen.
Okay.
And fortunately, I'm still using that, which is kind of cool. But thankfully, the other 3/4 of what I do, I get to do in person now. So back to holding professional development with real human beings in person. So I'm very excited about that. It does feel, now it's so funny that you asked that question, because I hope we don't put everything that we learned and I'm going to use the word suffered, right, that we lived through. I hope we don't lose those lessons, because I think there's some really great lessons for us to learn on a personal level, on an institutional level. So hopefully we don't just get so excited about, whoo, I'm free now. I bought a ticket to go outside the country, right? Which I'm super thrilled about now. But yeah, I think there were some good lessons, but in general, just getting out and about and kind of gathering information from people that I work with, and a lot of our community college instructors I'm in the process of kind of gathering, what did you learn?
Right.
And how is your teaching different now? And how do you look at students differently? So I think there are some exciting lessons to be learned, and let us hope we do not have to go back to that again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to knock on wood right now.
Absolutely.
No, it's and I, like you said, that face-to-face, and that's why I know we're all excited about having a face-to-face conference first time in a couple years, and it will be nice for sure. I just have one more question, and that is with an eye towards the conference. I know you're going to be speaking a session on the Thursday of the conference, May 19th, and then also as part of our panel discussion in the evening. Without giving too much away, maybe you can just
little
teaser for the attendees, about what you're going to discuss in your session.
Sure, I'm excited. And it's interesting. It's a little bit of a switch. So people who I know from Coquitlam, who have also seen me at COABE and some other conferences, they know that pretty much most of my focus is on culturally inclusive teaching.
Right. Yeah.
And that still is. That is, of course, near and dear to my heart. But I wanted to take a step back this year up at the ACE conference and almost go wider because it has struck me that we throw the term within education, particularly within adult education, we throw the term self-directed learning, self-directed learners, right? We throw self-directedness around a lot. What I find is we often kind of talk about it in a nice theoretical sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, so adults are self-directed according to Malcolm Knowles, right?
Right.
But what I will be talking about is always the practical, right? Taking the theory to practice. So what does that mean? And what do we do for those learners who perhaps need a little help in developing their self-directedness, right? Because let's face it, if you make your way through your primary and secondary schooling, that system does not necessarily develop self-directed learning, right? So we kind of, our adults come into our classrooms and we expect them to like, poof, be really good at that. So we're going to talk very practically, have a discussion and share some ideas on a very practical level of what activities you can incorporate into your classroom, into your learning activities to help those students kind of encourage them to be more self-directed. Right. So that's it. That was a long tease. I'm sorry. You can't ask me to be brief, I guess.
No, that sounds all good. I'm looking forward to that because I think, we often assume, as you said, our learners come in as self-directed, and I think the practical, as attendees go to different conferences, I think when they hear that practical, there's a yes, this is for me. So I'm looking forward to that. That's wonderful. So thank you again, Christy, for taking some time out of your day just to chat ACE. I know it's coming up really quickly now. We're almost at the end of April, and before you know it, we'll be into May, and looking forward to hearing you and seeing you again face to face.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me, and thank you for talking today. I'm really looking forward to getting back and seeing people who I now consider my friends.
Absolutely.
Up at the conference. So
absolutely.
thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.